But today, as you look behind me or in front of you, you can see that we're here to celebrate the beam topping ceremony, which really recognizes the last pieces of steel that would be put in place on this great school. And so with that, one group I'd like to acknowledge, TWI erectors over here in the brown helmets. Thank you very much for all your work on this project. And this school is really, we're on track to open about 1 year from now in August of 2022. So this is a great day and monument for us. Some other people I'd like to acknowledge is our group from RLH Engineering. Where did they go? Okay, Jeff Kirtley and Travis Jarrett, they are our owner's representatives. They have been with us since the day after the bond passed. They are our go-between between the city in terms of permitting, in terms of the architect and the general contractors, in terms of paperwork, billing, all that stuff. We wouldn't be here today being as successful on these projects without them, so I appreciate them. Also, we have HCM architects, the architects, and we have Matt Porta. Where's Matt Porta? He's hiding over here. Okay, he's the project manager here, and he'll get a chance to introduce his team in a minute. And then also the general contractors for this job for Adolphson and Peterson, Chris Meek, who's the project manager, and Kyle Tillery, who's the site superintendent. And then all their guys over here standing in the back. They have done just a great job, as a team between HCM and AP, working together on this design build project, getting us to this point and getting us on time for opening and on budget, and also taking the time to gather input from district staff, from teaching staff, from the administrative staff that's here. And so we're just really happy how this project has moved forward. And next person I'd like to introduce and just give a little opportunity to talk is the principal of the existing Greeley West High School and the new Greeley West High School, Mr. Jeff Cranston.
Thank you. It's an exciting day. A year ago, as Kent said, we were having a groundbreaking right over here, and a year from now we'll be having a grand opening. So an exciting day, an exciting milestone, and I'm just excited for our staff, excited for our students, and for our community as we look to build the center of the community right here in the heart of Greeley. I'd like to thank everybody that's been working on this project. RLH, A&P, HCM has been a great crew along with District 6. It's been a great opportunity for me to learn and grow and to be part of this project. So thank you, and we'll see you back here next year.
Okay, thank you. And next I'd like to introduce our leader, Dr. Deirdre Pilch.
Thanks, Kent. I am the superintendent of the District 6 School District here in Greeley and Evans, Deirdre Pilch, and I just want to thank all of you for your support of the district and your support of this amazing project. And I want to give a big shout out to Jeff Cranston, the principal, and his administrative team, Amanda Jones, Amy Zuloff, and Aaron Allen. I was a high school principal. I was a high school principal with a significant renovation. I didn't try to build a new building in the back of my building. And I am here to tell you the leadership we have at this school has made a tremendous impact on how well this project is going. And every step of the way, that team made sure we were listening to the community, the parents, the students, and the staff, with the architects, so the architects could get it right and design the school for our community, our students, and our staff in the future. And long after we are gone, this school will continue to serve this community. And I couldn't be more proud of that and more proud of the team who has led that work. I want to introduce our school board members who are here today, because this kind of thing does not happen without a visionary, supportive, and dedicated school board. We passed this bond issue because of the 7 people who are my bosses. Two of them were former bosses. I'll introduce them first. Dr. Julia Richard, who is one of the board members who actually hired me, and Dr. Doug Lydiak, Mr. Doug Lydiak. I just gave you an honorary doctorate, Doug. Yeah. And Dr. Lydiak, who were two of the original board members when I came on, and have been off the board now for almost a couple of years. And so thank you to you both for helping and supporting the work of this bond issue. And then our current Board of Education, our two most senior board members, Mr. John Hafley and Mrs. Rhonda Solis. And then I want to introduce Natalie Mash, Board of Director member, and then Terry Pappas, our Vice President of our Board of Education. And last but not least, certainly our board president, Michael Matthews. And I'm going to give him the mic here in just a moment. But I want to say this first, that it is so important for a community to invest in their children. And this community has chosen to do that. And not only with Greeley West High School, but with, a project at every single school in our district. And so Greeley West is kind of out in front of everybody. However, we will be replacing Madison Elementary School with a new K-8. That's yet to come. You're seeing a significant renovation at McAuliffe. We already did the beam signing and the beam topping ceremony at McAuliffe last spring, and that building will be complete in November. And then we begin significant work at Chapello, and every other building in the district is being touched by this bond issue because of the leadership at the board level. That's where it starts. And then our community and staff coming alongside us. So thank you to all of you. I want to introduce President Matthews, who he's in his fourth year on our board, which means that he is one of two board members who will be running again this fall. Michael Matthews and Ray Talley both have to run again and can run again. And then we will be saying goodbye to our beloved most senior board members that are on the board right now, John Hafley and Rhonda Solis, as they finish out their term in November. President Matthews.
Well, thank you, Dr. Pilch, and thank you guys for being here today. This is such a wonderful day and such a wonderful day of accomplishment. And thank you to all of you who've been doing the work. And I especially just want to thank our community. I'm so glad that some of our former board members are here today, because I remember before I was on the board, I was on a Citizens Advisory Committee trying to get the previous board to make a greater financial investment in our students. And I remember what I said to them that day, and I'll say it again to you today, that every day a teacher in this district gets down on a knee. They may have a conversation with a child where they say, the work that I'm giving you is important, and you can do this. And that argument is not persuasive. When there is water flowing through the ceiling, and when the textbooks are 12 years old, and when the bus is collapsing on the way to school, and the bandwidth is not enough, and their internet connection is timing out, and we made that argument as parents. We then have made that argument as a board, and this community has responded, and we cannot thank Greeley and Evans and the voters of Greeley Evans enough for this incredible investment in our kids and the future of this community. So that's all I have to say is thank you. So I hand this back to, who do I hand this back to? Oh, I'm gonna thank one more person because I always need to thank this guy. He is our assistant superintendent, who has kept this project running day in and day out for over a year and a half, 2 years, going on 2 years now. And I don't know that he's had much of a day off since we passed this bond issue in 2019. So thank you especially to Mr. Ken Henson.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next I'd like to introduce Mr. Chris Meek from Adolphson and Peterson. He is the project manager of this project, and it's been great working with him and his team, and he's going to tell you a little more about the beam topping.
Thanks, Kent. Wanted to give a little bit of history about why we're here today to celebrate this great event. As Kent said earlier, the setting of the last beam is a major milestone of the evolution of the building. It's commemorated by the beam signing, which we're doing right now, and it honors the accomplishment of the construction crews, and it's kind of a reminiscence of an old-fashioned barn-raising celebration. So just real quick with a raise of hands, who knows the history of the topping out ceremony? I'm just curious. You can fact check me here in a little bit then. The tree is the key symbol, the evergreen tree. It signifies that construction reached the sky without loss of life or injury and bodes well for the future occupants of the facility. It goes back a while, dates back to 1700 AD with the Scandinavians. They used to lay sheaths of oats after they completed their structures, and it was an offering to Odin's horse. Odin respected this and would bestow good luck to all the people that had the sheaths over their structures. And it also notified the other people around them that it was time to start the celebration. So it goes way back. The Native Americans have a piece of the history that goes to this. The Native Americans believe that you shouldn't build a building taller than the trees. And so when they finished their building, they would put an evergreen on top of their building to appease the forest spirits. So this tradition came over to us, to America, by Norwegian immigrant ironworkers back in 1898. And so whatever your belief is, the history indicates that the evergreen symbolizes positive things. Good luck to the occupants, continued growth in concert with the environment, and a safe job well done celebrated. So I'm honored to be a part of this project. Adolphson and Peterson is honored to be a part of this project. I appreciate all of our partners, District 6, Jeff and Amy, the high school, your community. This has been a pleasure, and this is a very special day. So thank you. I'd like to have Matt Porta come up from HCM. And
thanks, I'll make this quick so we can get to the celebration and enjoy the rain, which we haven't had in a while. But I want to, when I look at this project, I've said to my team, I've never had a project that's been more difficult, but also enjoyed every day on it. And so it's taken a huge team effort. I just want to acknowledge a few of my coworkers, Lisa Gardner, Adele Wilson, Lynn Eller, Adriana Topher. We're all on part of this team amongst a dozen others, back in our office. The entire AP team that have been involved from day one in design, every one of our design meetings. And it's just a level of collaboration and coordination that it takes to do something like this. I'm going to say thank you. And especially want to say thank you to the district. It's been a great, every day there's decisions we need to make, and they're all over it. They understand the importance of it and been great. And I do want to thank Jeff and Amy I can't imagine, every day is something new related to construction, and they've been adaptable and accommodating, always with the end goal in mind, recognizing the pain today is going to be worth it if I can get this building on time next year. So they've every day have taken that approach, and I know for the teachers and COVID and everything else that complicated this past year, everybody's persevered and has really got us to the day today, and really looking forward to the ribbon cutting, which will be about a year from now. So I want to say thank you to everybody, and I'll hand it back to Kent.
A couple things I do want to recognize is that these beams we were able to put in the school last spring so that all the kids could sign them last spring, because we knew that sometime in August we'd be putting those up. So there's actually 3 beams here, and they've been signed by the teaching staff and the student body. I also want to acknowledge the teachers. Who are teachers that are here? In the time they've put in. Going through construction ain't pretty, but they've done a good job, and they're not done yet, but they'll get through this year. But B, also their input, that they've had a lot of opportunities for input on this design, and it will be exciting next year when we open and they get to see how their input was put into play. Okay, Kyle Tillery.
Yeah, here we go. I'll make this even quicker than everyone else. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into this project. Like everyone said, this is really just a ceremony to celebrate that we've completed all of our steel and going vertical. It's crazy to think that basically beginning a year is when we started going up. So here we are now, topping this thing off. So with that, throw it up to Big Yellow here and watch these things fly. Thank you.